it looks like Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury is going far from home. Awesome. This seems good, and essentially how
Mm,
this happened is Captain Marvel has wrapped shooting, so there's
Yep.
no reason Samuel Jackson is uploading photos of him getting ready to shoot again and tagging the exact location they're shooting Spider-Man Far From Home, which
Yeah.
you just connect the dots and go, well, he's in the movie. you know,
Yeah.
like,
With the rumors that Jessica Drew is going to be in it, they're
yep.
clearly going like the Ultimates route. I don't know if they're going to take more from Miles' story
Mm-hmm.
with Jessica Drew, but a more Ultimate Spider-Man is not a bad thing. So I'm
I mean, Jessica Drew was more of a Peter thing for the most part until Miles came, anyway.
yeah, but like the way it seems to be, you can't do the whole clone thing in the movies because that's just dumb.
Right, yeah.
Oh,
But at the same,
why
like,
is I need my transgender representation?
I mean, which I wouldn't mind if they did it that way because it's a legitimate way that's happened in the comics that you can just put that in there. But at the same time, if she already exists and she's part of Shield with Fury, then it has to be more Miles, surely.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, if there's whole talk of him getting a new suit, well, Jessica Drew gave Miles a new suit in the Ultimates.
Yeah. I mean, that would kind of make a lot more sense. And if you like all the rumors regarding Jessica Drew, fine. I'm inclined to believe those, right? So if you're adding Nick Fury in there, does this kind of hint towards a new Shield being reformed? Like,
I'd imagine so, yeah.
like
Yeah.
this
I
time
mean,
even
it's a
more
perfect time
global?
to perfect time to make it sword if they can do that.
Oh yeah.
Like by the time this movie comes out, they'll probably own Fox anyway, so sword won't ever be a
And
problem.
let's just be real, they've made deals with characters before, and
Yeah. Yeah.
everybody at Fox knows they're going to be acquired. So why not make goodwill and just give them sword? Like,
Yeah.
just pick, here you go, just use it. Fine, do your
So
thing.
it's like, look, you're not ever gonna touch this thing. Just let us use it.
Yep.
It's just a word at this point. It's nothing huge.
So, I mean, if Nick Fury's going to take up a spot of one of the core MCU characters that has to appear, who's the second one? Because we recently found out Doctor Strange is not appearing in it.
I still think it's gonna be Iron Man. Because there's talk of Pepper Potts being in it, so why would you not have Tony?
True.
But-
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing all around because this movie seems to be, how do I say it? It seems to be very loaded with unexpected things. Like if you would have told me, okay, make a sequel to Homecoming, what you think it would be? I'd be like, okay, his senior year probably. He's finally gonna meet MJ or Gwen. And he's gonna fight a villain in New York. And they're like, oh no, it's globetrotting, MI6, Shield. You're like, what? I never expected any of this. Like,
We got Spider again, yay! Oh, what was the Miles name they were gonna give him? Was it Spidey?
Oh,
Yes. No. Well,
Yeah.
actually, the funny thing about that, it wasn't even an original Miles name. It was one of Peter's
So it was
old
an
aliases.
old,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if they can work that in there and actually make it work, I'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he just says it as a quip and makes light of it, it's like, no, you're
I mean-
Spider-Man,
I mean,
not
For the,
Spidey.
like for Far From Home, I could see either like Dr. Banner showing up or Shuri.
I think Shuri would work. Honestly, I think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
let's say Shuri, because Spidey has to go to, maybe somebody gets badly injured and they go to a Wakandan outreach program in London or something, and hey, look, Shuri's here for the time being. Let's do a little bit between these two characters, because both have said they want to really badly interact with the other because they're the same age but completely different types of, teenager. I'm like, that could work, and I think that would be honestly quite amazing. Kind of set up Spidey being like, oh, that's kind of cool. Well, I guess.
Also, you could be really cheeky and say, because spoilers, T'Challa in Infinity War, she's Black Panther now. So
No.
he's Spider-Man and Black Panther. Sorted.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like when you put it that way, you could, with what is it, African mythology, she instead of calling him Spider-Man, she'd call him a Nazi.
Oh.
Why would she call him a Nazi?
Yeah,
Why would...
Oh.
because African for the spider.
Really?
In some like in the basic translations, but
Oh no, colonizers.
I legit never knew that. I'm gonna Google that.
I mean, I'm really just excited about how different this Spider-Man movie seems to be. And let's bring up the fact that people are worried because they're like, Spider-Man's not global. I was like, have you guys not been reading the last 5 years of Spider-Man? He's literally owned a company overseas.
not my Spider-Man.
Guys, Spider-Man goes into space fucking constantly. Where do you think he got the Venom symbiote? He was in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Not
The
my
dude's not
Spider-Man.
ground level.
He's not Tony Stark.
Hashtag remake Spider-Man Far From Home.
The dude hasn't been ground level since longer than most of us have been alive.
It's true.
No.
It's really true.
I mean, if you put it this way, one of his D-list villains is a talking Stegosaurus.
Yeah. Come on now, he's not. Yes, he works best when he's at ground level. He's not a stranger to going out of that place.
Right.
Let's be honest here.
And I think people are kind of gripping too strongly onto the old Spider-Man movies. It's like, guys, please move past this. Like,
People will never move past those movies.
no, they won't. It's kind of sad.
Peter, like when we said, he has been to space, even with the Fantastic Four, geeking out over Reed Richards because Reed is surprised that a young one actually likes science because he's been trying to get Johnny interested into it, but he doesn't. He just blows him off.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I have a feeling that once Marvel Studios gets the Fantastic Four, right? And once that movie is out there, Spider-Man in the MCU is going to be old enough that we're probably going to see him and Johnny as that best friend dynamic.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's perfectly going to line up. Like, whether they get them in the next 2 years and it takes them another 4 years to get them in there, by the time that happens, Spidey will be out of school and he's going to perfectly line up with Johnny. Like, I'm so excited by that idea. And, like, Spidey...
Let's not forget Iceman. We're going to get that dynamic as well.
Oh,
Have the
finally.
trio.
Oh.
As long as he still lives at home without Aunt May and they have that whole thing. That's just me.
But how could they all fit in that tiny apartment?
They all fit in the tiny little house. They can
But the
make
tiny
it
house is bigger than the apartment.
Well, since apparently people think Stark should leave Stark Industries to Peter, I don't know why. Maybe Stark can pay for a house. They do that. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I want Spidey because this is a different world. In the Raimi universe and all that, and Amazing Verse, it's like the Spidey they had there had to be constrained by nothing else being there. So he had to be a different type of hero. Now that he's in the MCU, alien invasions are quite clearly commonplace in this place. You know, it's been like...
Yeah.
It's under a decade. It's been twice now. New York's been attacked by aliens. It's essentially turning into comic book New York. So it's like he's got to be more global at this point, especially if he's younger and he's going on a field trip. So if he's chasing Mysterio, you're adding the whole aspect of MI6 being involved, and maybe MI6 is like a new reformation of S.H.I.E.L.D., like you said, maybe Sword that we don't know about, and that's going to be their thing. It's like, I like the way they're taking this because it fits the MCU mold when you stop and think about it more. You know, it's not the same thing we've gotten before, which is what I think this franchise has needed. Because I don't want the same Spidey we've gotten before, because we got that 5 times.
Exactly. Like, why would you ever want the same thing again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want that, go watch those movies. They're right there.
No, my safe space. I want my safe space.
Like, you know they're going to do the safe Spider-Man stuff because they're building up to the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Like, you can build up to that and do different things at the same time.
Yeah, exactly how I feel about it. So I think it's definitely going to go in a direction that a lot of people aren't expecting. I'm expecting this movie, Spider-Man Far From Home, is going to have a Last Jedi-like effect on a lot of people because people want the same thing for Spider-Man. They hate a character growing up. Like, just look at it in the comics. The moment he's taken out of familiarity, people start freaking out and hating it and sending death threats to the writer because it's like, no, that's not Spider-Man. I'm like, dude, just stop. You're basing all your knowledge on a pair of movies. It's like, no, it's
either that or the cartoons. And if you look at the comics, most of the situations are ripped straight from them.
Yep.
I say, like, it's so weird. Like, people like make fun of this Spider-Man because he's young, and they go, "Oh, he's just a Spider Boy." No, he's Iron Man Jr. It's like Spider-Man was supposed to be young.
Yeah.
And it's like, and like it's everything. It's like, oh, why does he want to be an Avenger so bad? Because he wanted to be in the Fantastic Four so bad.
Yep.
Like literally everything you complain about was what Lee and Ditko did. R.I.P. Ditko.
Yeah.
Like there's even the argument is, why would Spider-Man go to the suburbs? He knows he can't web swing.
It's like he lives in the suburbs.
Yeah, like literally in an issue, that problem came up where he tried to get out of the suburbs, but he had to hitch a ride on a car.
Yeah.
And like the only complaint I will give for people complaining about the new Spider-Man is, why doesn't he do any of the big swinging through Times Square and stuff? And they explained that with interviews. They said he has to be more grounded before he can leap off the Empire State Building. After Infinity War and stuff, where he's been that high and he knows now, I guarantee you're going to get one of those epic swings down, through Times Square, and he's going to do the epic pose. But the thing is, you have to build up to that Spider-Man. He can't just be good at everything in one scene.
I mean, just give him time. We saw in the first movie, he still was afraid of heights at the Washington Monument.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, he'll beat the Sinister Six in Times Square, and he'll do the thing.
Exactly.
He'll do the thing with the flag thing. It's coming.
Exactly. But imagine how much more gratifying that's going to be when we haven't seen that scene twice a movie, every movie leading up to it. When the first time we see it is Spidey fighting for his life, that's going to be amazing. So it's like, just let them do what they're doing, because how many times has Marvel Studios in 20 movies now failed us? I would argue not once. They've just
do it the next one.
They made two movies. They made two movies that are but other than that, they've been hitting home runs and great films. So it's like, come on, guys, just trust the process. You've trusted it for a decade. Like, they're not going to fail now.
Every one of the 20 movies has opened up at number one.
No, trust me, Mitch. Captain Marvel is going to flop. No one wants an SJW hero.
It's true. It's true.
Yay, Wonder Woman 2. Yay. If you hype that movie.
It's crazy. It's just what it is. Spider-Man is in good hands. I'm glad he's going to be leaving New York, and I'm glad he's going to be in New York for 3, where he's probably going to fight the Sinister Six with a couple more superheroes by his side. It's happening. So whether you like it or not, get used to it. And